Hello, welcome back to JJ's Bakehouse. I'm Ginny and today I'm going to be showing you how to do some piping skills. So I've done the beginner bakers course and on that we've gone all the way through. I haven't touched any of that with the piping skills, so this may help you in between, or if you're not doing the course, this just might help you. So I've just roughly done a few here of what we'll be looking at. So we've just got regular ones, we've got pretty flowery ones, and then I'm going to tackle a rose with you right at the end. So I'm going to bring the camera forward for this. My buttercreams I will tag across the top, across the comments box, so that you can see what buttercream I use, because that's really important for getting flowers and these kind of things right. There have to be no air pockets, there has to be silky and smooth as well. So I'm going to pull you forward and let's get started. Right. I've got a cupcake case. I'm covered in blue now. And then I have got my buttercream. Now it's really important that your buttercream is completely air free. So when you push it like this, it should be all smooth and soft. So if you see me pushing it around the outside there, look, that's really, really important that it goes like this. So if you're unsure of the method to get this, I have buttercream tutorials on my channel and that will show you exactly how to get this consistency. So I'm going to put it into a piping bag now. And we're going to begin with a 2D, and I'm going to show you how to get with the 2D a lovely rose. So we're going to start in the middle here, and we're going to push down, and then we're going to come across the top and around and on top of each other, and make sure that you've lifted this so it's lifted up and it's finding its own way around, and then just pull it off. Okay, and that gives you that perfect swirl, and then you can put something on this or just with your finger, really delicately, you can just push it all back in. So let's try that one again. Here we are, because I know this one can be a little bit annoying to get. Just put as much buttercream in here as I can, because I don't want to run out of buttercream. So let me fill this up. Okay, so I've just put some more in and make sure it's all in that bag. So you want to come from the top, push this down so that there's no air, and then come from the top and just push your buttercream. And if you keep seeing air, just push it out like this, and then come back in and push back down again. Okay, and there we go. Right, twist it around. Let's get another cupcake. My daughter made these cupcakes, so I think they're brilliant for her. They're a little bit brown, but we won't say anything about that. Right, so we're going to push in just down like that. Come up to the top and around. Don't go down. See, it's lifting. It's almost as if I'm doing it from the air. And there we go. So you're just coming down and around, but you're, instead of coming down to the bottom, like if I was to, let's see what I've got left of this. If I was to do this on the table, so if I was to push this down here, oh, I've not got that much left, it's not easy. So if I was to push this down and keep this down and come around and not lift, it's very tight, as you can see, and that's how you get a tighter one. Okay, if you're trying to get this effect where you're coming over the top. You need some height on it to allow that to happen. But if you keep it close, this is what you get, and this is a tighter one. Now also, I've just done this on the table. You can make these on parchment paper, let them dry, scoop them and put them on top of the cupcake yourself if you are worried and you don't want to do it directly onto the cupcake. So that's a good thing too. Right, so we've done the rose ones, okay? On to the next. Okay, the next one I'm going to be using a 1M, and I'm going to show you how to do what I call the ice cream effect here, okay? And you can do this with the 2D that we use to do this, or you can use the 1M. So these are the most popular for this, so make sure everything is twisted around. Take your nozzle straight down, come up to 12 o'clock, come around as if you were going to do what you were doing before, but instead you're going up and then coming up again, and then at the top push down and lift, and that is your ice cream effect. Okay, so that one is quite easy, and you can do that with the 2D as well. So as you could see as I was going, the effects were very similar. So if I get this here, and I'll show you the different look with the rose, with a 2D and at 1M, which is what I have here. So we're going to come in again, and we're going to lift over the top, and we're going to go round, lifting it and letting it come round on its own. And there we go. Okay, so that's the effect with the 1M, and that's the effect with the 2D. Very, very similar. So the two are actually quite similar nozzles in themselves. Okay, so that's those two. So when you do the top, I made this one here with the 2D, okay? And then this one was the 1M, and as you can see, there's really not that much in it. All right, so the same here, we've got 2D this side and 1M here. So as nozzles go, they're extremely similar. All right, so that's those. Okay, I'll come back to the 2D again. And for this one, I have mixed some white on one side and some pink on the other. So just with a nozzle, I put some down this one and some down this one. Right. Again, making sure that's tight. And with the 2D then, we're just going to push and, oh, hang on. If you just push that on there a little bit more, then get a knife and put some of the buttercream across the top, because that gives this something to stick to, and that's why that happened. Right. There we go. Right, now we have a sticky surface that this wants. I'm going to cut some of the top of this off because it's too big for me to work with. Right, and then we're just going to go in, push and lift. See that it lets me do that now. Push and lift. We're coming to an angle, okay, outwards. Push, lift. Same thing all the way round. And this works so nicely with that two-toned effect as well. And we're just going to do the middle. Oops. Okay. And then we are just going to add another layer across the top, and then that's going to give us that hydrangea look. Right, so we're going to go back into this again. and just around the sides here, push and lift. Just following the same as what you did before, just keep going round. Okay, such a lovely look with the two-tone as well. And then in through the top. And then one final one through the centre, and that gives you that really nice hydrangea look on the top of your cake there. And that's another thing that we've done with the 2D. So the 2D is a really versatile nozzle. You can use it for quite a lot of things, and if there's some bits on this you don't like, just tidy them down a little bit with your finger. Just like that. And there we go. That's really pretty. So that's another one we've cleared. Okay, so now we're going to do the different effects on a cake. So I've just, again, put some light buttercream across the top. And we're going to go back in with this 2D, and we're going to do a very small swirl, or the rose like we did before. So we're going to go down there, but we're going to keep tight into it this time. And around, and pull it off. Okay? We'll do another one this side here. So we're going to go down, stay with it, don't worry if that overlaps there, and around, and then pull it off. Okay, so you've got your two roses just there. We'll cover into it anyway. Right then, and now we are going to add some little bits. So I've got a Wilton number 30, I'm sure it is, here. And this is just going to give us some lovely little marks. So all you do with this is just push in and lift, and push in and lift, push in and lift, and stop. There we go. And again, push in on the top and lift. Once you've got the height, okay, there we are. Just go into the side here, push in and lift. Just peel it away if they get stuck. Okay. Wipe off the bottom of your nozzle because that's why it's doing it. And push in, lift. Ooh. The ice cream man's around. And everything that you do, you really want it to be symmetrical. So see there? So we've gone all the way across. All right. So now we're going to take some of the pink. And here I have got a Wilton 102, and this is the one that gives you this rippled effect. So I'm going to go in round to the side here and just backwards and forwards while I'm applying pressure. Okay, then wipe to the side again, and then I'm going to go back in here There we are. And then another one. Keep going backwards and forwards through there. Lovely. Okay. And we're going to go back in with this one. We're going to do the very same thing, just here. So, down and lift. I find this so relaxing. There we go. I'll just give it a tiny little push down. There we are. And there is a cupcake with the different designs across the top. And you can chop and change it up. I made this one before. And again, you've got the two swirls, you've got the ribbon bits, and then different colours in there. It's just different size nozzles that you can be using for that. So pop that one up there. Okay, we'll do another one of these. Okay, so now we're going to do the different effects on a cake. So I've just, again, put some light buttercream across the top. And we're going to go back in with this 2D, and we're going to do a very small swirl, or the rose like we did before. So we're going to go down there, but we're going to keep tight into it this time, and around, and pull it off. Okay? We'll do another one this side here. So we're going to go down, stay with it, don't worry if that overlaps there, and around, and then pull it off. Okay, so you've got your two roses just there, and we'll cover into it anyway. Right then, and now we are going to add some little bits. So I've got a Wilton number 30, I'm sure it is, here. And this is just going to give us some lovely little marks. So all you do with this is just push in and lift, and push in and lift, push in and lift, and stuck. There we go. And again, push in on the top and lift. Once you've got the height, okay, there we are. Just go into the side here, push in and lift. Just peel it away if they get stuck. Okay. Just wipe off the bottom of your nozzle because that's why it's doing it. And push in, lift. Ooh. The ice cream man's around. And everything that you do, you really want it to be symmetrical. So see there? So we've gone all the way across. All right. So now we're going to take some of the pink. And here I have got a Wilton 102. And this is the one that gives you this rippled effect. So I'm going to go in round to the side here and just backwards and forwards while I'm applying pressure. Okay, then wipe to the side again, and then I'm going to go back in here there we are, then another one, keep going backwards and forwards through there. Lovely. Okay, and we're going to go back in with this one. We're going to do the very same thing, just here. So, down and lift. I find this so relaxing. There we go. I'll just give it a tiny little push down. There we are. And there is a cupcake with the different designs across the top. And you can chop and change it up. I made this one before, And again, you've got the 2 swirls, you've got the ribbon bits, and then different colours in there. It's just different size nozzles that you can be using for that. Right then, a rose on a Wilton 125. We need a splodge in the middle, we need some height, okay? And then we need to create a circle going around. So, always want to work with the thin end up. Make sure this bag is tight. And then we just want to go around until it meets. So let it touch this bit of buttercream and move your cupcake around until you can meet that other bit and then drag down. So they've met, and that gives you that circle part. Okay, then we're going to come over the top. So we're going to come down the bottom, and we've got the thinner mark at the top, but we're coming in. So we're tilting this so it's on an angle. And then we're going to touch the side and go over. Then where the middle part of this is, here, we're going to do the same. We're going to start there, make sure this is tilted, and we're going to just go over. Right, my hand is in the way, you can't see. So I'm going to do the same into the middle part, and then we're going to go over. And again, and down. And that has created that bud in the middle there. So now we have the bud, we need to come out slightly. So we did this in like this on an angle. Now we need to come out a little bit. So we're bringing our arm back. You're going to touch in, you always come in between these for the moment. We're going to go in the middle of this one, here, and it's not on the angle we were, we've come up slightly, and we're just going to go over the top until the other side, creating this effect. So now you've got this long line here. You want to start 3/4 in, see where this other petal is, follow that down and start just here. And then take this, make sure you're on a slight angle, but not as much as the one before, lift up and take it down to where the other petal again is there. Do the same, and we're going to come round to this petal just after it. So 3/4 in, and come around and drop it down. Right? Mine are never straight, they're always off, but you'll never notice it. Okay, we're going to come back in again, but this time we're going to start fanning out a little bit more. So we've gone from this to this, now we're going to come straight. So we want this straight. 3/4 of the way. And then instead of lifting now, just go around and down. And again, go around and down. And it's creating that rose. So 3/4 of the way, keep it straight up to the sky, down and around. Let the nozzle do it for you. I'll just wipe my nozzle. Right, 3/4 of the way, up to the sky. Let it just be flat. No ups, no downs. Okay, right. Now, what we need to do now is come out that little bit more. So we've gone here, here, up. Now we're going to slightly tip back the other way. 3/4 of the way in. Just let the nozzle do the work. There we go. And you're fanning out. Okay, back a little bit, 3/4 of the way in. And there. 3/4 of the way in. Keep it back. Just let the nozzle do the work. You just give it pressure, you point it in the right direction, it's going to do what you want. 3/4 of the way in. There we go. And there we have a rose. And we've got a little bit of lippage underneath, so if you want you can go in and do more, 3/4 of the way in. Okay? And this time you really tip back. And again, you're really tipping back to get into there. But you're falling quite a bit, but that's if you want to go this far. And again, in towards the end, keep it tipped right back. And there. And again, keep it tipped right back. And the last one. And keep it tipped back. Oh, I'm going to have to do something about that. So now we've got a really full, right, just tip it up and it'll stick. There we go. And I'll just go underneath. There we are. So now that's a very full rose. You didn't need to go that far out, but we did. So now you can slightly just pick these bits up here if they've fallen. All the way round. Any bits you're not happy, just get them to meet. And there we have a complete rose. So all you need to remember with making a rose is this action here. You begin in, okay, let's just wipe that off. You begin with this pointing on this angle, okay, then up a little bit, then all the way. I would say, if you're doing it, I'd say when you start, you're at 10 o'clock, then 11 o'clock, then 12, then 1, and then 2. 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock, you're lifting over, and then on 12 o'clock, you're keeping it flat. And then 1 o'clock, you're keeping it flat. And if you're going that bit further, at 2 o'clock, you're coming down and you're coming under. Right, let's tidy all this away and I'll come to you. Okay, so this is our array of cupcakes. So we've got our 2D and the 2D here. We've got the 1M, we've got a variation, which I will write those up in the comments box of what we've used. We've got our rose. This is the one I made off camera. This is the one I made with you that has got the extra bits around the outside. This one is that little bit looser because I'd been using the buttercream in the bag for a little bit too long. I should have swapped over really. So as you're working, only ever put a small amount in the bag because it's easier to add. If when you're using it, your hands are hot and your hands are going to melt that buttercream, and then that's going to be like this then. This one has collapsed that little bit more. The technique I've shown you will give you exactly this when you use the buttercream that has that is at the correct temperature and not been near your hands. So always use a small amount, add as you're going, and that way you'll always get stand up buttercream. So these are the different techniques. I am going to be tackling the Russian cupcakes with you next time, so I'm going to do that next week. And if there's anything else that you need piping wise, just drop it in the comments and I'll have a look into it and I'll sort that out for you. So I hope you've enjoyed this, hope you found it easy enough to follow, and I'd love to see your work. So take care, I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.